I'm so excited, you guys. Welcome to the Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party. This is like no other party or no other vision board party you've ever attended. I can guarantee it. So we have been putting on this vision board party for 4 years now. We've traveled it across the United States, in different cities and different regions. And this year, to protect you and us, we're doing it virtually. But this allows us the opportunity to bring all of our speakers from across the United States into one space. And it allows us to bring all of you all from across the world into one space. So welcome to the party. There's a few things I want to share with you. There's so many amazing things that's going to happen throughout this vision board party, but I want to tell you some of the awesome things we have specifically for you. One is you have your customized Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party playlist provided by our favorite DJ Smoothie. So there's several different playlists to choose from depending on what your style of music is. There's some motivational music. There's the music that gets you pumped up and ready to go. There's some worship. There's some soft music as well. We have a few different options for you. So thank you, DJ Smoothie, for being our favorite DJ and, as always, taking care of our music needs. We also have official merch. So we want you to get into this whole concept of being not so ordinary, because you're going to make sure that you're doing extraordinary things this year. So you can head over to positivityshop.com and get your Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party merch. There's also a coupon code for you to get some very special discounts off of your purchase as well. Also, we have some wall decor. So if you're like me, I love to have inspirational quotes and positive things on my apparel, on my walls. And so we have designed 2 different wall art templates. So if you want to make a canvas out of it, if you want to print it off and put it in a picture frame, you have those available for you as well. And then we also want to make you aware of the Vision Board Party contest. So we do a contest for the best vision board every year. But there's only one thing as it relates to the Vision Board Party contest. It's happening on the inside, and I'll tell you about that at the end of the video. There's a very special opportunity to connect with our Not So Ordinary community. We also have our virtual vendors. So there's a bunch of small business owners, which we call our friends, that have decided to say, hey, we want to offer your people discounts to shop our stores. So we've got very special discounts for you to support local businesses, but also for you to find some new things and new finds at a discounted rate. And then last but not least, every speaker that you hear from today is very important to me and have inspired me in some way. I want to share that inspiration with you all, and make sure you follow and stay in touch with every speaker that's going to be motivating you today. They have the clickable links in your vision guide so you can stay connected to them beyond today's event. Thank you for joining us, and once again, welcome to the best party of your life, the Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party.
Hello. My name is Elisha Kendall, and I am the brand ambassador and owner of Elated Enterprises, home of the phrase, so let's talk about it, right? So let's talk about it. You can do anything that you put your mind and heart to. Okay, today you are here at this Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party so that you can bring your dreams, your thoughts, and all your inspirations into flourishing. Don't let anything stop you, because this year, 2021, baby, is your year, okay? You got this. You got this. So anybody or anything that thinks that they can get in your way, please let them know that they can't. Today, you will be writing down a lot of different ideas, a lot of different thoughts. And guess what? They will happen. Now, let's get to work, okay?
Our vision board party started out of a necessity. I was looking for a way to properly write down my goals, but then also take it a step further and create an action plan. I didn't want to end the year with a dusty vision board. So this vision guide is more than just cutting out pictures, writing goals down, and ta-da. That's not what it is. It is putting your faith into action. It is creating a strategic plan to not just write the goals down, but what are the steps that you're going to apply to achieve them. The ultimate goal is for you to get to the end of the year with a game plan that has warranted results for you. So this is not your ordinary vision board party. We're going to get to the fun stuff, but we're also going to make sure that we are planning appropriately. Our vision board parties are faith-based and grounded on the scripture Habakkuk 2:2. The Lord replies, write down the message I am showing you in a vision. Write it clearly on the tablets you use. Then a messenger can read it and run to announce it. The message I give you waits for the time I have appointed. It speaks about what is going to happen, and all of it will come true. It might take a while, but wait for it. But you can be sure it will come. It will happen when I want it to. We use that as the foundational scripture because it talks about while you want to achieve the goal or while you want to achieve the vision, write it and make it plain. This is not just about you. It's clarity for you, but it is also clarity for the resources and the people that will be impacted by the goals that you've set. So when you establish your goals and when you create them, it's something that you give to yourself, but you also give to others. That is why we go through this process, and that's why we go through it amongst friends and as a community and as a team. So I want you to keep that in mind as you go throughout your journey today. You have taken a step or a leap of faith in just showing up today. You showed up for yourself. That's half the battle. I also want you to know that just by writing your goals down, statistics show that you're 3 times more likely to achieve your goals. You're also more likely to achieve them by just saying them out loud. You're also more likely to achieve them by having accountability, which are all things that we'll talk about and put in place today. So again, welcome, and I look forward to getting to the end of this year and celebrating your wins and your successes with you.
Hey there, Shanice Ali here. I hope you're having an amazing week. I want to welcome you to Not an Ordinary Vision Board Party 2021. It's about to get lit. I am the creator and founder of the We As One movement, an online ministry for women to help and connect us to change, insight, and growth. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to be talking about mindset. In order for us to talk about mindset, what is a mindset? So a mindset is our mentality or an attitude about something in our life, right? Or about a circumstance, about, things that we are accomplishing or trying to accomplish, right? So there are 2 main characteristics that I want to talk about that are a part of having a healthy mindset in 2021, okay? Those 2 characteristics are clarity and focus. All right. So clarity in terms of a mindset is the condition or having the trait of being coherent and being intelligible. So being coherent means being present, being involved, or being in the moment. And being intelligible means that the educational resources that you need to increase self-discipline, to increase your knowledge or know how, gathering that information and having it a part of what is helping you articulate the mindset you want to have to be successful. So we got clarity and we got focus. This is what Proverbs 17:24 tells us. It says, wisdom in the presence of one who has an understanding. Wisdom is in the presence of the one who has an understanding. So if you have clarity, if you're clear, if you have the traits of being present and being intelligible about what information you have, and then you take that into focus, which is focus is about a whole visual picture. It's making something clear to see. And it's not even just about seeing something clearly, it actually starts to take form as we make the actual adjustments in our life to see clearly. So that means that we step away from doing things the way we used to do them, and we offer or we usher in something new. And so it's important that we are structuring our mindsets to make adjustments in the area of our self-discipline, in the area of our faithfulness, in the area of whatever area you feel needs to come up so that you can reorganize and reshape a healthy mindset in 2021. All right, so before I leave you, I want to leave you with a checklist. This checklist is going to help you kind of really see, are you or do you have a healthy mindset going into this new year? So these are some things that you're going to want to check over. First is, how are you viewing yourself? It is absolutely necessary that we have a healthy self-image as we are trying to shape the correct mindset about being successful in life, successful in the area of our finances, our marriage, parenthood, our careers, your purpose, and whatever, walking out the thing that God has designed you to do in this earth. You got to have a healthy mindset about yourself. How are you viewing yourself? So check that off the list. Do you have a healthy self-esteem? Number 2 is examine your weaknesses and turn towards righteousness. What does that mean? It means, sis, what areas in your life do you need to come up in? What are some weak areas? It's important that we all aren't perfect. So we all have an area that we could come up in. We all have an area that we can offer a little bit more self-discipline in, right? So when we take those areas and we begin to present a healthy mindset within that, then we can turn that into righteousness. That means being in right standing of something. That means being on the side of doing that thing the way that it was created to be done, the way that God has designed it to be, or the way that you want to be successful in it. So that helps shape a healthy mindset. The next thing is demonstrate patience and endurance. So God is calling us not just to be patient, but to be ready all at the same time. He said, be patient, but stay ready. So that's another part of our checklist. The last thing is leaders should lead with integrity. When you have a healthy mindset, you're leading with integrity. Everybody is a leader. I don't care if you're not a pastor or a minister, if you are a wife, a father, if you are a mother, if you're working as an employee under a business, or even owning a business. We all are leaders in those different areas of our life. So I am challenging you to come up in your mindset. I am challenging you to get clarity and to get focused about what God wants to do in your life for 2021. All right? So that's what I have to share with you guys. Peace and love until next time.
Are you motivated? Because I am. Are you ready to get started on your vision board? So the first thing we're going to do is establish your goals. So list 5 goals that you want to achieve and why they are important to you. If you have more than 5 goals, it's totally fine. If you don't have 5 goals, it's totally fine. No pressure. Whatever you want to write down as your goals, feel comfortable in doing that. After you write down your goals, I want you to consider a few areas that you may not have considered in setting your goals for the year. I want you to think about your health and wellness goals. I want you to think about your spiritual goals, no matter what religion you are. I also want you to think about your financial goals. And also think about your relationship goals. That doesn't mean you have to have a bae or a companion or a partner, but that may be the relationships you have with your friends, the relationships that you have with your family. I also want you to think about your self-care goals. How will you make sure that you're investing in yourself and taking some time for yourself this year? I also want you to think about your goals for community. So not just the goals that you want to achieve personally, but what goal can you give yourself to make sure that you're impactful in your community this year?
Hey family, this is Radisha, curator for Pray Hustle Slay. I am so excited to just tell you guys a little bit about my business. We've been in business since 2015. We actually just celebrated our 5-year anniversary over last October. And I really think that God gave me Pray Hustle Slay when I was at one of my lowest points And I always tell people I literally was faced with a situation where I had to pray. I had to hustle because I have 4 beautiful children, and I had to slay in the capacity of spiritual warfare, having a mindset to know that if there is something that needs to get done, it has to be done, by any means necessary. And so I started out with a t-shirt, and that t-shirt grew into self-care products. It grew into mugs. It grew into fellowship with other beautiful women that may have been faced with similar situations that need that support, So when God gave me this, it was literally a vision that He seen fit, and it started so small, but it has literally grown to something amazing. To the point where we have our office in Mishawaka, Indiana. We're working to potentially expand to Georgia, to explore some things down there this year. So we're excited, and I always tell people, your mental health is something that you need to have as your first priority. But us as moms, as entrepreneurs, as these different things, we literally put others before us, and we put ourselves last. So one of the mental health pieces behind Pray, Hustle, Slay is that I always say, if we give ourselves a little bit more relaxation, how much powerful can we be? How much greater can we be? How much more enthusiastic can we be when we are getting up to do that social media content, or adding the different products to our website and things like that? We're so much more greater and refreshed when we take the time to really take care of ourselves and love on ourselves. So through this, I was able to not just launch those products that I was telling you guys about, but we also launched a couple books. I'm an author, and some of those books talk about self-love. We have 21 days of prayer and devotion, and I wanted this company to be something that really can evolve, and not just evolve, but be an asset to everyone, whether or not you white, black, brown, purple, gold, green, because self-care and mental health is such an important thing that we very rarely talk about. So I wanted to be able to have products that you can enjoy in the morning, with your coffee mug, writing your journal, have girl time with your bestie, and have shirts and sweatshirts and things like that. And we literally just launched some boutique items that have been doing phenomenal, and I wanted to just be able to have a full line that would be, for example, if I'm not really a writing in the journal type of person, I want to be able to have apparel that you can literally have inspiration through praying, hustling, and slaying. And I always tell people, this has been one of the companies that has been influential to me, not just as the owner, but having such practices that says, I can do this. I can do anything that I literally take to God and, can manifest through knowing that He's going to do it. So I always tell people, Pray, Hustle, Slay is so much bigger than just the apparel, than the products. And, we have our all-natural body scrubs. We have candles. We have all these things that will create an atmosphere of you loving on yourself. Mental health, just making sure that you are healthy in that space. So I know that some people see Pray, Hustle, Slay, and they see where we started and where we are right now. And it's just unbelievable to some people that this company literally started from a t-shirt. And God just continue to progress and give me the different visions and things like that, to keep going and to continue to aspire and inspire. And it's just a great feeling to be able to walk through an airport and people stop me and I'm wearing Pray, Hustle, Slay, and they're like, well, where can I find it? And it's just like, hey, check out our website at www.prayhustleslay.com, and you'll find all of the things that we have to offer there. So that's my spiel. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. And make sure that you follow us on IG and also on Facebook at Shop Pray, Hustle, Slay. And stay tuned. Be blessed, guys. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Lana McCarter. Happy New Year. I am so excited to share with you for this Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party. I, of course, want to thank Ebony so much
for inviting and including me to simply speak really quickly that your credit is your credibility. I am Lana, as I said before. I am the owner of Rich Credit Group, LLC. We are a credit repair company that enhances persons' personal credit to help assist them in having home ownership, car ownership, loan ownership, and all lines of credit ownership, and to having the perfect credit score in the 800 plus club. A lot of times people think that achieving positive credit is impossible. They feel like because they've had life happen to them. Hello, I was one of those persons where life just happens, where you can't pay your bills on time, where things just line up and pile up, and then you feel like you're sinking in debt. You feel like you're sinking in pressure to pay. You feel like you're sinking in a realm of impossibility, and you just need to know that, hey, you simply need to just take this step to fix your credit. I'm not going to just talk about my services, but I'm going to give you 3 quick steps that you can do to help fix your credit and get on and in the right direction. The first step, stop using Credit Karma, okay? While you're doing your vision board, first of all, go ahead and claim and decree and declare that you are going to have a 700 plus credit score before the end of 2021. Do you feel me? Are you with me? Because you're going to have it, but you got to believe it. So the first thing, we want to stop using Credit Karma, right? We want to stop using Credit Karma so that we can have an accurate understanding of our credit report. So I would advise you to use things like IdentityIQ.com. I would advise you to use MyFICOScore.com. Or right now, because of COVID-19, you can actually get your free credit report from the annualcreditreport.com website. You can get all of your scores and get an understanding of what is on your credit report. The second thing that I would tell you to do, write down all of your closed accounts, all of your late payments, and all of your collection accounts. Get an accurate understanding of these accounts. Make sure that there are no inaccuracies with the reporting of the accounts. Make sure that the creditors are really, they have the due diligence and the right validation to say that you owe them that amount of money and that it should be reported on your credit. The last step that I'm going to give on today is to simply get more positive credit. A lot of people are afraid of credit cards. A lot of people are afraid of having positive lines of credit. Why would you be afraid to have what gives you what's called purchasing power? Did you know that an 800 plus credit score it has more purchasing power than $100,000 cash? You need credit, but the only way to get credit is to have credit. And in order for you to have credit, you must, and I mean you must, start adding positive lines of credit to your profile. So as you are taking your vision board seriously, as you are putting your dream car, your dream house, the ability to be debt free, if you are just, believing God to do new things for you, get your credit fixed. Start working on your credit. Take ownership and have value in your credit, because you have to change that, because your credit is indeed your credibility. You want people to trust you. You want people to take you serious. Start with fixing that credit. I have helped so many people, and I am so excited that this year I will help over 1,000 people get into the 700 club. Now, will you be one of those? If you are, you can visit my website, www.richcreditgroup.com. Fill out a client assessment form and we can talk. And guess what? If you attended Ebony's Vision Board Party virtually, you're watching this, I'm going to give you a discount. All you have to do is tell me, I was at Ebony's Vision Board Party. So remember, your credit is your credibility. You want to have purity. You want to have positivity in your resume, because that is what's going to make you trustworthy and able to have the life that you so rightfully deserve and desire. Thank you for joining me for this quick blurb. Make sure that you do whatever it takes to get your credit in the right direction.
Congratulations, you conquered the first step. You took your goals from your head and you've actually written them down. So now they're a living document. They're already here. So now we're going to go to the goal breakdown. You're going to utilize these steps to conquer every goal that you set for yourself. So the great thing about a virtual experience is if you need to pause to make sure you go through every goal and work out these steps, you absolutely can. So we're going to first ask, what's your action plan? So now that we've established the goal, how will you achieve the goal? The next question you're going to ask is, what are your needs? So now that you have the action plan, what do you need to help bring that action plan to life? And then you're also going to ask, what or who is stopping me from achieving my goals? I think this is a very important question, because as we continue to work towards our goals, it's always great to be motivated and positive and high about our goals, but we also need to be realistic and do a self-assessment. What's stopping me, or what has the potential to stop me from achieving my goals? And also, what or who's going to help you achieve your goals? So while you may need to get rid of some things, you may also need to add some things to make sure that your goals are achieved. That's the goal breakdown.
Hi, everybody. My name is Pinky, and I'm the owner of Broken Button. And this is...
I am Tika, and I am the owner of La Ross Admin Services. And today, we would like to thank our host, the beautiful,
the magnificent
Ebony Gibson. Thank you so much. We don't take, listen, what we're about to talk about is serious, because we don't take our friendships and these relationships for granted. She ain't have to pick us. I mean, we are...
For real.
You know what I mean? So just very grateful to have a friend that believes in what we do and believes in relationships. That's important. So I'll go first. Just kind of talking about managing relationships from my point of view. One thing that I learned and still am learning is you really have to be a better person. You have to go for your healing. Like, if you want to be better, you got to chase better. And so you want to be the best version of yourself. You have to spend those moments, like if it's hard or if it's bad, the things of the past that's like crazy, you got to heal through that stuff, because if you don't, you'll be like taking your problems out on everybody. Trust me, I've done it, man. I didn't know how to communicate and would be like going off on
everybody.
Going on everybody about
anybody.
It didn't. Hey, you get my attitude. You get my attitude.
Right.
What the heck?
Right.
And thank God for people who, my next point, they didn't take it personal. And that's the thing. Like, you have to not take things so dang personal all the time. And it's happening to you, but sometimes it's just, it don't even matter, you know?
Yeah.
You just kind of got to pause and just kind of take a second and think like, yo, okay, that was wrong. How do I move forward? Don't lash out all the time. Just chill out. And once again, if you're your best you, then hey, you love yourself. You love the people like you love you, because we love ourselves. But if you love yourself, then that's something you really need to deal with, and
it reflects in your relationships.
Exactly. And so that's real. So that's pretty much my perspective. I got a lot more, but 5 minutes, you know.
kind of cut it short.
Gotta cut it.
So for me, effective communication is one of the toughest things for me in relationships, any relationship. I'm talking about family, friends, marriage. That is the thorn in my side. Like, I'm not quite good at the effective part of the communication, but it is necessary. It's very, very necessary in all of our relationships to have effective communication. Another thing is having separate identities. Me, Tika, and Ebony, we clown when we are together, but you can see visually that we are all different, but we have such a mutual respect for each other's person and each other's personality that, you know, we are able to function differently. Right. And we have a good relationship because we allow each other to be ourselves.
Exactly.
Another thing is, what was it? Compromise. Being able to compromise. When I got married, I didn't feel like everybody understood where I was coming from.
Right.
And then I had to learn how to compromise doing certain things. Like, I couldn't do everything that I wanted to do. And I really wanted to share my life with every single person in every single way I could, but I had to learn the art of compromise and the art of doing things that sometimes I didn't want to do, or sometimes I couldn't do things that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So learning to compromise, that's a big thing. And then spending quality time with each other. Like, we had to learn that, okay.
And being intentional.
Yes, being intentional with our relationship and the time that we spent together. Like, we can go out of town and not do nothing. Like, we literally could sit in the room and just look at each other.
Eating chicken.
But we needed that. Like, we needed that time together, that time to reflect, that time to just talk, that time to empty out and pour back into each other. So, and those things are good for any kind of relationship.
Right.
So,
like, and even for me, I'm thinking too, like, not holding people's flaws against them. Like, we're all flawed individuals. Like, and then on the flip side, like, this how I am. Deal with it. We don't want to deal with it. You know, if your friend's telling you need to change or grow, or well, you gotta just, these people love you. They ain't just telling you anything. Stop being so private. Chill out. And I'm a witness to that. Like, I ain't playing my attitude. Like, I keep talking about it because I just thought like I grew up. Hey, you check them. You know what I mean? You ain't got to do all of that. Like, chill out a little. But change while you chilling.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all we have. Yeah, it's been real. Thank you once again to our host for allowing us
absolutely
just our perspectives and how we manage relationships. All right. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all.
Bye. Love y'all.
Bye.
My favorite question to ask people is, what are your superpowers? And I'm always taken aback at how difficult it is for us to discuss the things that are dope about ourselves, and how simple it is for us to talk about what we perceive to be our shortcomings. And it makes me think about grace, about how often we are willing to grant grace to other people that we don't even give to ourselves. And I think life conditions us that way. That over time, we focus on survival and we lose track of our visions to thrive, which is a problem, right? Because the greatest barrier between where it is you desire to be and where it is you are now is perception. You have superpowers. So many so that if you sat here right now and you tried to list them all, you couldn't do it because they're infinite. And you're learning more each and every single day. You are an asset to every space that you enter. You are the problem, the best kind of problem, and the solution. You are all out a bag of chips with the soda on the side. You have gifts. And those gifts are unique to you, much like a fingerprint. Nobody else on this earth has what it is that you have. And growing up is betting on yourself. Growing up is doing it scared. Growing up is affirming yourself even when you don't really quite believe it, right? Growing up is understanding that you don't know it all and you don't have to know it all. All you gotta have is a couple of shooters on a team. But most importantly, growing up is leaning into your superpowers. Choosing your joy. You are special, cuz. Can't nobody else do what it is that you can do. And if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Why not? Who gonna stop you, huh? So I ask you, cousin, what are your superpowers?
So you've got your action plan, you've done some self-assessment, you're ready to go to the next step. So in every goal that you have set for yourself, I want you to think about who your accountability partner is going to be for those goals. And here's the real deal. You might not have the same accountability partner for every goal that you have. You want to make sure that you have the right people in the right place at the right time doing the right things so you can achieve your goal. So for instance, if I want to set a fitness goal for myself, I may not have someone who is not focused on fitness to help me with that goal. They may not give me the accountability I need, or I may not have one of my close friends help me because they may take my excuses and be overly supportive. This is not the person that you need. You need an accountability partner, someone who is going to rip your excuses in half, going to be honest and transparent with you, and also keep you grounded as the year progresses. This is a person that needs to be in that role. You're also going to figure out, as it relates to the goal that you're setting for yourself, what is going to motivate you, or who is a great motivator during that time. That accountability partner and that motivator may be the same person. You may just reach out to someone and say, hey, this is a goal that I have and I'm going to need a little motivation along the way. That's who your motivator is going to be. And then now that you have those two components set in place, what is your commitment to achieving this goal? So this is so important, you guys, because we talk about the goals, we write the goals down, but then how are we going to hold ourselves accountable? By investing time into achieving them. So this is not law, but it gives you a guide, and I want you to be very realistic about the time that you can commit. If you can't, most of us don't have 40 hours to commit to one goal. So just make sure that you're realistic. Even if you're touching it for at least 2 minutes a day, or however you choose to do it, as long as you're investing some time and some investment into it, then you're good to go. So you're going to break that goal you're going to break that commitment down by day, by week, and by month. We just want to make sure that you are touching it at all times.
Hey everybody, I'm Kim.
I'm Keandra, and we are
the owners of Jolie Noir. So when you think about defying the odds, you think about anything that could be a stumbling block in your way. That could be something that's happened in the past. It can be something that is coming that you have no clue about. It can be anything in between. It can be your socioeconomic status. It can be your family. So an odd can be anything that will be a barrier to you reaching your goals.
Right. The crazy thing about last year for us, being that we are coming into our second year of being a business, we had the pandemic to hit us in the face, and it wasn't playing no games. But the thing about it is that we were still determined to push through, and that's the thing. You have to have that determination. You have to be able to push forward despite all the things that go on. And because we decided to push through to see the results, that brought along more people who wanted to know about our brand and our mission, and it really pushed us into continuing on as well. So it just brought on that excitement for us because we saw the results, but it was only because we were determined to to push forward.
Yeah, determined and willing to pivot our business whenever we saw a barrier. The pandemic is a surefire barrier for all of us. I think everybody has been hit in one way or another by it. But that brings me to my to our 3 tips for you guys on how to overcome the odds, how to defy the odds. Keandra already touched on it, being determined. You have to be willing to pivot. So you have to be able to have a plan in order so that you can defy those odds. So it's kind of hard, coming after a thing. So having your family, your socioeconomic status, things like that, to be able to defy the odds. But if you have the determination, then you can beat any any odd. You can jump over hurdles. You can, of course, with the Lord, you can do anything. So with Him, you can be determined and be determined in Him, and He'll help you defy the odds through determination.
Right. Also, number 2 is to stay accountable to the work. I know that sometimes, the days get really, really long, especially being cooped up in the house, and, you see all these crazy, chaotic news reads and all that kind of crazy stuff, and it makes you, sit in the house and just chill and relax, and sometimes it can make you a bit depressed, but you still got to be accountable to the work. And you never know, whatever it is that your career path is, whatever it is that your dreams and your goals are, those might be things that motivate other people as well. So if for nothing but to motivate the people who follow you, the people who will get to know you and understand your mission and your brand, do it for them, and do it for yourself. You want to see the results. You want to see how great things can turn out and be for you, because you put in that work. So put that work in, be accountable to it, and stay connected to people who keep you pushed and going, and do what it is that you need to do as well.
Yeah. So speaking of staying connected to people that will keep you going, that brings me to our final and third tip for you guys, which is creating a team, putting yourself around people who not only love you and adore you, but people who will tell you the truth, and people who will push you, but they will not only tell you the truth, not only love you and adore you, but they will get in there in the trenches and actually do the work with you, because we all know that sometimes the workload itself can be an odd, because it can be so heavy and it can be so overwhelming, especially if you have so many hats. Like we wear many hats in our lives, so if you do wear multiple hats, you need multiple people, or people who can handle multiple hats in their lives too. So it's important to build a team, to surround yourself around people who will help you with your mental health, who will help you with your physical health, because that's important too, and to be able to help you actually do the work and perform that work.
Yeah. So Ebony, we love you. We thank you and appreciate you for the invite to come and speak on Defying the Odds. We thank God for what you've brought to our business and our brand, and you've definitely helped us to defy every odd that has come up against us. So we love you, and to everybody else watching, continue to push forward in your dreams and watch them happen.
So if you've attended our vision board parties before, you're going to see some new components, and I'm so excited to introduce them to you. So we've talked about establishing your goals. We've talked about the action plan. We've talked about the team that you need to help you achieve these goals. But let's talk about the commitments that you are making beyond time. So the next phase is for you to make a commitment to yourself. And I want you to really think about that. Like, how are you going to hold yourself accountable? Because although we have people that will help us achieve our goals, the most important person, the person that you're going to be involved with 24 hours a day, is you. So what commitment are you making to yourself in achieving your goals for this year? For example, my commitment may be I need to make sure that I am dedicating enough space to take these goals and to actually make sure that they happen. But in that dedication, that may be not just about time. It may be about making sure that when I do dedicate time, it's quiet time. It's uninterrupted time. Maybe I need to make sure that I'm giving myself a weekly assessment to keep me on track. Whatever that commitment is, how are you going to show up for yourself this time? The next commitment is your commitment to others. So although we are focused on achieving our goals, some of the greatest satisfaction also comes in making sure you're impactful. So how can you show up better for other people? For example, my personal commitment is to make sure I am more present in the relationships that matter most to me, making sure that I'm spending quality time and making sure that I am consistent in making sure that the people around me are okay, or if they need something from me, making sure I'm checking in on them. So what is your commitment to others, even though you're focused on your goals? The last commitment is your commitment to your community. So while we are focused on our goals and we've also started to focus on other people, how can we make sure that we're spreading that out? How can we be impactful in our community? It may be through volunteerism. It may be through joining different clubs or organizations to make sure that you are investing back in your community. But let's make that a part of our commitment and a part of our goals for this year.
Hello, I want to start off by saying thank you to Ebony Gibson and the I'm Building Something Consultant Agency for allowing me to participate and share this platform with her for the Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party. And I'm very excited to be here. I've been asked to talk a bit about authenticity, which I think is great, and I'm excited to share what has been dropped in my spirit with you all, and I'm hoping that you get something out of this on today, right? So when you talk about being your most authentic self and the most authentic version of yourself, you have to come from a genuine place, and you have to know who you are. Who created you? Who created you? Who put purpose inside of you? And what does that purpose look like? You got to check your identity. And once you establish that, then you can create a life model that you can live by. A life model means the moral standards, values, non-negotiables that are in your life that you validate everything else against. Everything else has to be filtered through this life model. And once you've established that life model, then you can begin to sit in it and live in it, right? So some people, they say God first, family second, career third, and everything else after that. I like to say faith first, family, finances, fitness, and friends. That's my high five or my fab five that I go by. And so doing that is going to take some work, and it's going to take some investment in yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to invest your time. You're going to have to invest your money. You're going to have to set some boundaries, and you're going to have to be unapologetic about this, right? You're going to have to be unapologetic about changing your life for the better, right? Some of us have been living 20, 30, 40 years, and we've not been living true versions of ourselves. Well, it's time to stop that. I want you to imagine that, you are a pot, and a plant is being, put down in that pot. You are the plant that is looking to grow, be watered, to evolve, and sometimes what's going to happen is you're going to evolve and grow and have to be repositioned or repotted so that you can continue to grow and develop. Anything and anybody that wants to hinder you from doing that, you may want to take a second look at that relationship and see if they are no longer serving you. Because no one should put limits on you if you are striving to be the very best version of yourself, right? Everything has to line up against that life model. There's systems in place that give you that badge of authenticity that we're looking for. And I want you to strive to get to that place. And if there ever becomes a time when you're working diligently at becoming better, and some of those past feelings and emotions come up against you, I want you to, I have four points that I want you to use to help you come up out of that situation. Grab your pens and paper. First one, I want you to realize, or shall I say recognize, the triggers that are coming up against you or that are trying to come up against you. Recognize those, and how do they make you feel? What emotions are coming up? I want you to recognize those emotions. I want you to recognize the triggers, realize the emotions, sit in that for a minute, and then after that, I want you to rehearse something different. Rehearse something different about yourself. I don't care if you're afraid. You're going to speak that there is no fear inside of me. I don't care if you're feeling rejected. I am more than validated. I am enough. I don't care what those negative feelings are that no longer serve you. I want you to rehearse something different. Those affirmations that we talk about, speak something different in your life at that very moment, right? So after you have recognized the triggers and you realize the emotions, I want you then to rehearse something different. But lastly, I want you to rise up. I want you to rise up out of that situation in that very moment, and I want you to overcome it. because you are more than an overcomer. I want you to overcome and conquer it right there in that moment. Now, for some of you, that's going to take a matter of seconds. Some of it's going to take 5 or 10 minutes for you to, get back on your square, because you might have been knocked off a minute. Some of you, it might take weeks or months. But no matter what, I want you to be consistent about putting in the work to become your most authentic self. You deserve it. God has put a voice in your mouth that somebody needs to hear. He has put a light inside of you that somebody needs to see, and he has put a work in your hands that it's only up to you to do. I want you in 2021 to begin to walk that thing out. And when do you do it? You do it now. You do it now. You do it now. Thank you so much again for attuning your ear to this message of authenticity and how to walk in it and how to stay in alignment with it. Thank you again, Ebony, and I'm building something for allowing me to be here. And I just appreciate you all. Thank you.
So if you leave with nothing else, you will be motivated by all of the wonderful speakers that have poured into you throughout this vision board party. So is it safe to say that it's not your ordinary vision board party yet? Okay, good. So the next thing we're going to go into is your daily affirmations. So I want you to think about what type of things you can say daily to pour into your spirit, to make sure that you are speaking positivity over your life, and to make sure that you are actually manifesting or speaking the things that you want to see happen. So some of my daily affirmations are: I exude good energy. I am authentic and I attract like-minded people. I am loved. I am dynamic, or I am a dynamic force in the earth, and I attract finances and wealth. In your vision board guide, you also have a few clickable links where if you want some examples of how to create your daily affirmations, or if you want to just take some that already exist, that is totally fine as well. But click on that link if you want more ideas.
Hi everyone, thank you Ebony for inviting me to the Not Your Ordinary Vision Board Party experience. I am super excited to be a part of what you are doing here, and I'm excited to talk about managing manifestation. So I'm going to get right into it. Managing manifestation is something that God put on my heart because he wanted kingdom entrepreneurs to walk in a place of integrity, but he also wanted us to provide a service of excellence. And when we move in the marketplace, what sets us apart is the way we move and the way we manage. It's the insight, the direction, the wisdom, always being forward thinking, innovative in our creativity that allows us to manage manifestation in a kingdom way. And so it came about because of a lot of mismanagement. And an example of that is probably it's been some years now. But when I first started entrepreneurship, I took it as a joke. I did it for fun. It was a game, like a hobby. I didn't take it serious. So I used to hide money in these shoe boxes, right? So one day I had one of the shoe boxes in my car, and my mom decided to go and get my car washed. Well, it was almost $2,000 in that shoebox that went into the trash can because she thought it was trash. And the way I hid it in the shoebox was very discreet. So that experience, God told me that whole week to go and open an account. I was like, I'm gonna go when I get ready. I don't want to take off. We were swamped at work that day. I was just overwhelmed that week, and I'm like, I'm gonna go next week, whatever. And money just kept coming in that week, it just was randomly. And I wasn't literally, people didn't even know what I was doing, right? So fast forward, we're here now, and that week after that took place, God was like, tell your accountability partners what happened. I was like, I'm not telling these children that, girls, I'm not telling these girls that I lost $2,000 in the shoebox because my mom cleaned my car and I didn't go put it in a bank account. That's stupid. And they're gonna look at me like that, like I'm crazy, because they're like, you know better. What are you doing? And so I had to tell them, and each time I told them, I cringed, y'all. I really was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. This sounds so stupid. So fast forward to now, And we're managing manifestation, and we have people and systems and accounts in place. And it's funny. I can laugh now. I cried so hard then. But I can laugh now because I didn't take it seriously, and I didn't take God serious. And when he told me to step out and do it, I was just like, okay, it's gonna make, some money, and then we're gonna move forward. And God was like, this is not that. And that's how I handled it, years ago. So now today, as an attorney, of course I see the consequences of not managing manifestation in a totally different way. And now I just want to encourage people with that testimony and several others of just pursuing the things that God has put on our hearts to pursue, but also to do it with excellence. And that means actually, sitting with experts, getting the information, knowledge, and understanding that we need to produce a great service, but also to manage it on the back end, having our affairs in order so that when it's time for God to move and blow on what we're doing and shift us into the next level, that we will be prepared. Part of that is protecting your brands as well. A lot of entrepreneurs were birthed during this global pandemic. And in that process, I see beautiful brands. I see a lot of money going out. A lot of investments are being made into the marketing and branding. But are you protecting the legacy? So God is a God of legacy. He's a God of increase. He's a God of exponential increase. And he desires to protect legacy. So part of that protection is making sure that when we actually have our business formations in place and we have the proper accounting systems in place, that we're also taking care of the business on the back end and protecting the legacy. So when you're building your business, you shouldn't think of it as a small business or, this is something that's very simple. You should say, whatever I put in God's hand, whatever God put in my hand, because he put it in my hand, it will increase exponentially, and I need to properly manage it, which means I need to protect it. And part of protecting it is trademarking it. Part of protecting it is putting systems in place, putting barriers in place so that people won't be able to infringe on what you're building, and you won't infringe on what other people are building. So I wanted to leave that nugget with you guys. I hope this helps you on your journey. Please don't make some of the mistakes that I talked about earlier. And of course, continue to trust the process and let God lead you. It's a totally different experience for each and every one of us. We all pursue purpose in a different way. And so whatever God has you, whatever industry he has you in, be confident, be bold, be courageous, and trust what he's doing in you, and be authentically you, and make sure you manage your manifestation. Thanks, guys.
Now that you have your daily affirmations, it's time to focus on your quotes and words of power. Why these are so important? You're going to need these throughout the journey. You're going to need to make sure that you have powerful tools to motivate you when no one's around, when you're not having the greatest day, when you're ready to quit or ready to give up. You need this motivation to help you along the way. So, for example, you'll see in your vision guide, some of the quotes and words of power that I have are powerful, impactful, legendary, wealthy. These are things that I think about that motivates me when I think about the goals that I want to achieve. Some of the quotes that we have is one that actually came from a song that we wrote a few years back, and it's "Don't feed your fears, water your dreams instead." We want to break those barriers of fear, and we want to make sure that we are watering our dreams. There's another quote that I have, which is, "There isn't any real progress, only one large circle that we march in." That's actually a quote from A Raisin in the Sun. Why I enjoy that quote is because it reminds me that sometimes we think, or sometimes we're operating in a circle that feels like it can never change, but it's my responsibility to be the change maker.
Hey y'all, listen, straight out the gate, I want to thank Coach Ebony Gibson. Thank you so much, sis, for having me at your Not Your Ordinary Vision Board party. Yo, this is always an epic time. every single time that he comes around the bend. So I count it a complete honor and a privilege to be able to be with you today, y'all. My name is Pastor Amaris Ross Hillard. I am a 20+ year veteran in customer service and corporate retail management. I take the work that I do really seriously. Like, customer service is my thing. It's in my soul. I feel like it affects every area of life, not just when you pull up to your local pickup window, but it's everything you do and it's everything that you say. It's the right words at the right time. And I just want to encourage you right now that whatever work that you are putting your hand to do it heartily. Whatever you are going to put your gusto, your time, your energy, your mental capacity into, go on and do it well. Like, make it a good work. Like, make yourself proud. When you shut the book, when you put your head down on the pillow at night, be proud of the work that you were doing. I think so intensely around what it means to operate as the best version of yourself. I know we're all trying to do that. I know that we walked out of 2020 thinking that, that one was over. That one, thank you, Jesus, right? Like, we giving him the glory because it's over. But the truth is, some of us left out of 2020 wanting to leave real challenges and real financial hardships and real health issues behind, but they followed us into 2021. Like, they still here right now. Like, somebody has the diagnosis, somebody has the financial woes, somebody has the ends that won't quite meet still happening right now. And you like, I thought I left that in 2020. And here I am well into 2021. What's the difference maker? Like, I need some reciprocity right here. Like, I need some answers to what's going on. And my customer service mind goes back to think in terms of what are things that we can affect? What are things that we can impact? You can impact yourself by living your best life right now. You get to impact the earth by living your best life right now. The truth is that you can post a picture that you think you look pretty on, but listen, if you go back and you constantly checking for how many likes you got, it wasn't for you, it was for a different reason. How many times have we done that? I want to announce to you today that for myself, because I'm saying these things, but like, I'm really talking to myself, and I mean that with my soul. We're not waiting on another supporter. We're not waiting on another follower. Absolutely, we're here to create the best experiences, right? Because we're not here just to sell a product. We're not here just to sell a service, but we're here to create experiences that are 5-star and legendary. But in order to be able to do that, you have got to start investing in you and living your life right now. You're not waiting on another thing. You're not waiting on another coin. But can I tell you this right now? That everything you need, you already have. You like, sis, I done checked the bank book, and I'm telling you that's not the truth. But I want to contradict that right now. And I want to tell you that everything you have, you actually already need. Everything you need, you already have. It's already in your mind. God already laid it on your heart. You already wrote it in a journal entry. It was just 5 years ago, baby. You just got to go back to that journal entry, and you got to really rehearse and remind yourself of what you heard in the dark place. That is something that has helped me so much over my years. I was a missionary. I done it all, y'all. As soon as I left out of college, I didn't know what to do, so I signed up to be a missionary. And I was in Chester, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Chester, Pennsylvania, just out of Philly, and Wilmington, Delaware. But I was there, and I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. Back home in New Orleans, Hurricane Katrina had hit. My family was scattered everywhere, and I didn't know what to do. And I sat down with my supervisor, and I was like, I need advice. Quite frankly, I needed a word. I needed a word of hope. I needed a word of faith. I needed something that was going to pull me out of what felt like an eternal downward spiral. And I was a young woman. I hadn't even fully gotten started in my career. And I was like, I need something. And the man told me this, and I want to share this with you. And I pray that it hit you the same that it hit me. He said, if you find yourself in a dark place, just remember the last thing you heard in the light. What's the last thing you heard when it was all making sense? What's the last thing you heard when the birds were chirping? What's the last thing you heard when you were walking your 1 mile every day and you were feeling fresh air just billowing through your lungs and you were feeling good about life and the prospect of the future? What's that thing that you heard? That's the thing you need to run with. That's the thing that you already have. You already have the word of hope. You already have the vision. You already have the dream. You got journals sitting on the shelf. You got books already half written. All you got to do is just back it up just a little bit. You don't have to turn all the way around and make a complete about face. You just got to pick it up off the shelf, dust it off just a little bit, and you got to live your life right now, your best life right now. You're not waiting on another person. You're not waiting on another thing. You're certainly not waiting on another life, but everything you have based on who God called you to be, you have that thing right now. So plug all the way in. I mean, dig deep and plug all the way in, because now is the time. Now is the time to get back to you, baby. Yes, I know you had your children. I know you in your marriage. You trying to be the best wife. You trying to be the best husband. But can I tell you this? The best version of you is still at hand, so that you can be that best wife, that best husband, that best parent, that best sister, that best boss, that best friend. Live your life now. I see you in the future. Oh, yes. And you look better. You look stronger. You look like you got that thing done. All right. I love you. To God be the glory. I'm going to talk to y'all next time. This has been Pastor Amorous. Blessings.
You're doing such a good job. We are almost there, you guys. We're almost ready to put everything you've worked on together to create your vision board. So the next thing we're going to put together is your inspirational pics. We have a few links for you to access some inspirational pics, but then also this may be where you find some pictures of your own. You may have some pictures in your phone. You may have some family portraits. Whatever inspires you and whatever correlates with the goals that you set for yourself. If you want to get a new house this year, then you may want to grab a picture of a home or something close to your dream home. If you want a new car, you may want to grab a picture of your favorite car. Mine in particular is a Bronco. So you find those clips and you save them and you can add them to your vision board. So you now have all of the pieces that you need to put your vision board together. If you are doing a physical board, then this is a time where you can go ahead and cut those things out, make it all pretty. If you're doing the virtual board, then you do have an editable link to where you can go in and utilize technology to create your virtual vision board. If you're like me, I did both of them because I want to have it on my wall, but I also want to have it on my phone. It's totally up to you. So you'll see in your vision guide where we show you exactly how to put every piece that you've worked on today on that vision board. Now there are parts of this that you'll utilize more than just for your board. So more than to cut it out, you can actually keep that for yourself because we want to make sure that you're going back and utilizing every step of this process. All right, so here's the next part. You've got your vision board done. I know it looks phenomenal. I know it looks great. I know when you look at it, you are empowered. You've established your goals. You've got your action plan. You've got your inspiration and your powerful quotes. Now it's all about the follow-up and the check-in. So again, this is not your ordinary vision board party because we don't just make the boards and let them create dust. We're all about following up and making sure that you're sticking to the goals that you set for yourself and not getting off track. So you'll find in your vision guide, you have a few different check-ins. There's a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 6 months. There's all sorts of check-ins. And what you're going to do is just assess where you are. Here's the thing that I want you to understand. Your pathway to success isn't a perfect path. Some things may happen, some things may occur. The key to achieving the goals is making sure you're able to adjust. So while you may have, again, as we said in the beginning, you may have challenges, you may have hurdles, It's all about how you get back up. It's all about how you pivot. It's all about how you recover, because you don't want to stop along the journey. That's the worst thing you can do. You can pause, but don't stop. So you have your check-ins, and on top of that, I'm so excited to introduce to you something new that we've never done before. In doing the vision board parties, we've helped hundreds of people achieve their goals and create these boards that give them a pathway and a guide to success. However, we've also found that sometimes you need a little more accountability, and sometimes you need a group of people in a community to help keep you reminded of that. We heard you guys loud and clear. We wanted to make sure that we're most impactful this year, so we are introducing the Not Your Ordinary Accountability Group. In this group, you have two coaches, myself and Raina Grant, who are responsible for helping you through this entire year, keeping you motivated and making sure you're staying on task with achieving your goals. We want so desperately for you to get to the end of this year not feeling scared or not feeling bad about achieving or not achieving your goals. We want to make sure that you get through the end of the year as a winner. So that's why we're going to be there with you every step of the way. In this accountability group, you'll hear from the both of us. We'll also have different tools, everything from time management to self-care regimens. And we'll also have a few of our friends in to help motivate you as well. So you'll find in your vision guide the link to get started, and we can't wait to build with you.